My name is Renetta Cheston. I am here in Atlanta, Georgia. I hope your day is so amazing. I am so excited and humbled to come on and speak to you today. Today, I'm going to be talking about resilience, and I am going to go over a few things here. Again, my name is Renetta Cheston, and I am going to be your speaker for today. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for the heart. Today, I'm going to be talking about some stuff that it may not get me as many hearts as I want, but it's good. How was your childhood? I know we try to run from it. I did. But it's our first relationship with anyone, our parents. I tried to run away from it. I grew up in the country. Guess what I tried to do? I ran into the military, but guess what? Life still catches up with you. So when you take the trek back to back to your childhood, all the way from childhood to adolescence to where we are now, do you cringe or have you dealt with those childhood issues? What I was doing, I'm just going to talk about what I was doing. Okay. How do you handle situations? This is what I did. I am a preacher's kid. I grew up in the church. Every day was the church, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, start back over. Dropped off at the bus, off the church, everything, right? So, how do you handle these situations? This was me. I was acting super religious, loving others more than I was loving myself. That's not the way it goes. There's a scripture in the Bible that has been used so horribly bad. It says, love your neighbor as yourself, but you're supposed to love yourself first before I can love you. So I was giving everybody my love, and I would get like crumbs when I went to sleep at night. And so that's what I was getting in life. Whatever I was giving to myself is what I was getting in life. Do you shrink and hide when it's time to go forward? I don't want to do that. That's too hard. It's once I started realizing that I was on my own hero's journey to save myself, I changed my mindset. Or do you do this? You throw money at this situation so you don't have to do the spiritual work to break free to the each level, right? Or you argue and fight and and issues occur and then you say, I didn't do it, you made me do that. How are your relationships? Do you blame everybody else for the problem but you never look at yourself? Everybody is the problem, but you know what, we can't never get away from us. Can't never. And like I said, I've been on my hero's journey. And how do you handle situations? Do you fall apart and refuse to go forward? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Or do you quit and threaten to quit? Using manipulation and sexual things to get your way? Well, I got what I have, so I'm a thick chick, so I'm going to use whatever I got to get what I need. That leaves you empty handed in the end. And then you end up getting hurt by the person that you thought you was in control of, but you weren't. Do you turn to the power of your skin that allows you a power of your skin because you don't want to do the hard work of maturing that racial trauma? Maybe you could be Caucasian, maybe you could be black, maybe you could be American Indian, maybe you could be from India, maybe you could be from all these other countries around the world and different continents, but because you could pass certain tests, maybe you use that. I know here in America, there's a lot of that going around. And so we use that to get what we want, but in the end, you're really hurting yourself. Or do you use my old fan favorite, codependency, because you always had to have someone with you to move forward? I'm going to bring my best friend, or I'm going to bring my man because I need somebody with me. I can't do this by myself. But on this hero's journey, this is your journey. You have to leave everybody behind to deal with you. And that is the most scariest thing in the world. So my question to ask you is, when you can't get your way, do you choose growth or do you choose hate? Do you blame someone and say, and then you start gossiping about them, or you start bickering about them, or you just blame, 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 blame? Well, love takes over, and you're on this winding road of just constantly going around in a circle, right? We just constantly going around in a circle. And until, because life is cycles, until you make a decision and say, you know what? This is on me. And when you take the responsibility and say this is on me, you start taking care of yourself and not blaming everybody else, right? And guess what? No matter what religion that you're in, every religion chooses love. It's called Christ consciousness at its core. Every religion, no matter which one you choose, most of them start with Genesis to Deuteronomy, the first 5 books of the law. And that also talks about love. Also, they keep the voice of women silent, and this causes us to seek validation in places where we're probably not going to get it. Hey, I done blocked y'all out. I couldn't even see y'all. Y'all up here talking to me. Did y'all tell them country? See, look at me. I'm so country. Bless my heart. Hey, Melinda. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Lena. Hey, y'all. And no matter what, okay, and then also going back there, they keep the women's voice silent, and this causes us to seek validation from places to where we're probably never going to get it, because those places are ran by the opposite sex, and they're all about power, 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 power. I need power, 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 power. And we're trying to come in with our loving selves, and we're like, I just want to help. And they're like, no, you're a woman. Sit down over there. This is about patriarchy, and you with the monarch, and we don't have time for you right now. You're just like, but any country that puts women at the back and not in the front to be at the table to help make decisions is not a great country. No matter if it's America, no matter what other country or continent, if women are not at the table, they are not doing what we need them to do. Because guess what? Our children are left out. That means education is left out. If women are not at the table, guess what? Our birthing issues are not taken care of. Our health care issues are not taken care of. If we're not at the table, nothing is getting taken care of. And it's men deciding what's going to happen to our body. And if there is a woman at the table and she's too afraid to open her mouth, guess what? There's still no women at the table. It is your responsibility to lead yourself to love, the Christ consciousness. That means we're all equal, no matter what color of our skin. We're all equal, but guess what? We're all women, and we all have the same concerns. We just want to be seen. We just want to be heard. We want to make sure. And so for one to step on the other one to get to the next room, everybody is hurt, right? And that no man is really our enemy, but our teacher. So what lessons are you learning? Are you forgiving, or are you holding on to the pain as you grow? Because if you're holding on to the pain, guess what? Guess what happens? You're not growing. And if you're not growing, guess what else happens? You're not being your best self. And if you're not being your best self, guess what? Nobody is seeing you. No one is seeing you. And if I don't get to see you, guess what? I don't get to hear your story. And your story may change my life. Right? No matter, again, what religion you're in, they all use love, Christ consciousness at the core. There is but one God, and we all call him something different. He could be Buddha, He could be Vishnu. He could be Jesus, because they are the guys that take us to God. We could call him universe. We could call him source. We could call him divine. We could. There are so many names that we call him, and what happens is when we get into diverse religions, it separates us. And then we're like, well, I don't like her because she's this, and I don't like her because she's that. But guess what? We're all the same. There's no different. God wants unity. Because guess what? Every religion started from. I don't know which religion started first, but guess what God wants? He wants unity. Because when there's unity, I see you, you see me, and guess what happens? There's love, Christ consciousness. And as long as we have Christ consciousness, I'm not going to stab you in your back. You're not going to stab me in the back. And I'm going to treat you so good. You're going to treat me so good. And guess what? Now I have another sister. And you have another sister, because the way I live, once I get to know you and I feel comfortable with you, now you're family. I don't see you as outside. Because guess what? I'm in a hero's journey and I had to walk away from everyone. My whole family, everything I ever knew is gone. It's in the past. They all lead back to the source, all creation. But we put labels, and when you put labels on things, white, black, Italian, Indian, Native American, what happens is you bring separation. When you take off your label and you just say, I'm Renetta, then people can get to know you. So we don't have to hold on to, so these labels are there, so we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. The purpose is to have everyone that's involved with this presentation to look deeper and ask yourself some hard questions. These questions we run from due to wanting to have more degrees. Child, if I tell you how many degrees I got so many degrees. My last degree was a master's degree. We have so many degrees and things that we keep buying to, but guess what? We still feel empty after all this stuff. You get all these degrees, you get all these plaques, you get all this stuff, and you still feel empty. Because guess what? What you really want is you want to be seen, you want to be heard. You want someone to see you, you want to be heard. You want to have a conversation with someone that's deep, is depth to it. You don't want to, how you doing? Well, I'm doing good. Yeah, girl. I got all these awards and stuff. And then you just want to say, but are you happy? I know you got this big house on the hill, but are you happy? I know you have this husband and everything, but are you happy? Because if you're not happy, guess what? It means nothing. All this stuff you have means nothing if you're not happy. The final goal is to see what we already have and be thankful for that before adding something else that we really might not get used. Think about how many things you might have in your closet or in your house that you're not using. You know what I did? I took the stuff that I wasn't using and I took it to Goodwill. I said, somebody else could use this. I just looked in the house and I said, not using it, get it out. Not using it, get it out. Not using it, get it out. Because if I'm not using it, somebody else can use it. You know that stuff in your closet is not being used, or are you able to be corrected by a mentor or someone that you admire? That's or that the last event from your childhood broke you breaking into tears and are ready to have a full blow up on someone. The thing you don't deal with is the thing that usually holds you back. That fear that shows up out of nowhere, that temper tantrum that comes out of nowhere. Well, I have a few series, and if I don't have the series, let me tell you, we will come up with something. It says, who am I really? When processing the pain and confusing thoughts, you must have patience with the process. You have to love yourself so much. Everyone has a different path. Getting back to the place of authenticity and uniqueness of who you really are I have numerous systems in place to assist you in your path. I would like to help you process yourself through this labyrinth of life, because life got so many paths. But who are you really? We I had to do this myself. That's how I come up with the course, because I was like, wait a minute, I need to break my life down and find out, who am I? There are no roadmaps. There's no roadmap. There will be ups and downs, lessons, and a lot of those. Oh my God, I done had lots of lessons and lots of setbacks, and dealing with the darkness inside that we blame others and are causing us to act the way we act. Well, you did it, so that's why I act this way. And I'm also doing a raffle. You can scan this code and you can reach out to me, because I'm doing a raffle of 2 of the books. I have 2 books and I'm a bestseller. This one and another book with Jack Canfield. I want to do a raffle of this book. You can scan this code and you can reach out to me. You can ask me anything. You can keep in contact with me. So, and if you would like to, I would really, really love to help you to go down this path. Because in finding out my childhood issues, guess what I found out? I found out that I was Captain Marvel. And who is Captain Marvel? She is a superhero, right? But she didn't know who she was, because she was like, she had a case of amnesia. That's really what it was, until I woke up to who I was. And she found out that everyone she was around was her enemy, but she didn't know that. And then I also have a little bit of Doctor Strange. What does that mean? Doctor Strange is also on Marvel, and he found out that all his leaders that he thought was his leaders were actually using the demonic side, the negative emotions, to run their lives. Where I thought that the leaders I had over my lives, the pastors, all the different leaders, everyone that I looked up to, was actually using the dark side to get their power. They were manipulating people, using people, and I had to walk away from all of that. And in the process, I know it's going to sound crazy what I'm going to say. I know it's going to sound crazy because I say it's crazy. I say it's crazy when I think about it. I had 10 covens. When I say it, it sounds crazy when I say it. I had 10 covens of okay, there we go. I forgot to share my screen. Sorry. I forgot to share my screen. Sorry about that. Let me go on down. Cancel there. Well, I'm going to make sure the presenters see you. I was trying to share my screen with my PowerPoint so you could see, but that's okay. Things happen. But I really want to work with you to help you get there. I had 10 different covens of witches and warlocks come after me. And I had to trust God to get me out of it. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds scary, but witches and warlocks are not who you think they are. They are the people in your everyday life, the people that gossip about you, the people that set things on fire in your life, um, the people that you trust the most that set you up for failure, but you don't know you're being set up for failure. You just realizing that you're just having a hard life and you don't understand why your life is so hard. And you're just trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on with me? I am working really hard to get to the next level. Why can't I get to the next level? Well, I found out that everything was going crazy because of that. I found that out. I found out that everything was going crazy. And I didn't like that. So yeah, that didn't sit well with me. But it's okay. It's I learned a lot on my path, and I would love to assist you. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does, but it's the truth. And I walked away from all of them unscathed. And the only way I did is because of the power of God. Only thing I did was listen to what God told me to do. I My intuition said, go here, do this, do that, do this, do that, do that, do this, do that. And it sounds so crazy, but that's how it happened. Emails would show up out of nowhere. I would get messages from emails. I would get messages from text messages. I would just get messages from everything. Everything was a message. I would go outside and get messages from animals, and everything is a message. God is talking all the time, but the question is, are you listening? Because if you're not listening, you're missing a lot. He's saying a lot every day. Every day he is saying so much. And because of Christ consciousness, I was able to dial in. And when I'm having conversations with people, didn't even know I was a prophet, but having conversations with people, people would say stuff, and then I would hear God start talking to me, do this, do that. And I would pick out my phone and just start writing stuff down. And they're like, what are you doing? You said something and it piqued my curiosity. And so now I got to, and so I would end up going down diverse rabbit holes and learn so many things. And I know it sounds so crazy, but it's not. This has been my life now for the last year. And I've learned so much about myself. And I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I am to be where I am now as a preacher's kid on the other side, and realizing that the spirit realm really does exist. The spirit realm really does exist. It exists. It exists. It exists. So, yes, it really exists. And I'm trying to see if I can show this this page. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So there is the scan that you can get in contact with me there. So you can go ahead and reach out to me. I am going to be doing a raffle. This book is a New York Times bestseller. I'm going to sign the books, and I'm going to do a raffle. So whomever reaches out to me, I'm going to do a raffle of and just reach out to you and let you know who won. And I am going to mail the books to your home. Okay? So once you reach out to me, I am going to go from there and make sure everything is good to go. And again, here is one of the series, Who Am I Really? And it's a taking an honest look at you. At you, no one else. It's going to be, I have two versions of this course. It's a 6-week course and it's a 12-week course. And basically, you can decide which one you want to be a part of. And again, this is my page that you can scan, and you can see that this is influence and impact, and you get to know a little bit more about me and a lot more about my story. I thank you so very much for having me. I thank you so very much for having me, because this. I am so excited to be here. I'm so thankful to be here. I am so out of this world, just woo, thankful to be here, and thankful that you were here to share the word with me. And the God in me sees the God in you. And I thank you so very much for hearing my talk today. I do not take it for granted. I thank you so very much for being here, because you could have been anywhere, but you came here to hear me. And again, the God in me sees the God in you. I got that when I went to a Buddhist temple.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
very much.
Renata. That was a fabulous and energetic talk from your end.
Thank
Um,
you.
we thoroughly enjoyed the talk, and we have many questions. And personally, I have one question from my side. How have you been learned about taking responsibility of your own actions rather than blaming others? Right? How have you
Okay.
learned this?
So when you take responsibility for yourself, like you do something to me, right? And then when you do it to me, I have to check inside and I'm like, why are you feeling that way? And so I have to go all the way back to the first time. I'm a preacher's kid. So there's the scripture that says the first mention. So you got to go back to the first time you felt that. So I'm going to either react or respond to you.
Yeah.
So if I react, now I need to go find out, why am I reacting to you? Am I reacting to you because of something in my childhood? And am I looking at you as my mother and my father? Or am I seeing you for real?
Okay. Got it.
Because if I'm not seeing you, I'm actually arguing with the person who really hurt me.
Okay.
So now I need to go back and deal with that childhood wound, that mother or father wound. It could be a sister, a brother wound, a sibling wound. So now I need to go back and deal with it the first time I felt it. And once I go deal with that, now I will have a response instead of a reaction.
Got it. Thank you so much, Renetta. We thoroughly got the concept, and we believe in you and your energetic talks. And we see that you have the more challenges and talks to be coming in the future, and we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for giving your excellent guidelines to this audience. Thank you so much. Namaste. Bye bye.
Thank you. Y'all have an awesome day.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.